I'm Dan Galusha, and welcome to another edition of Dan's Fishing Tales. A little bit windy over here on this side, but you know, I think there's more fish here. And there's something that I'm wanting to try out. Walt Matan got in touch with me and he said, why don't you start trying this lure right here? It's called a Paddletail. And I've got this one rigged on a 3/16 ounce B Fishing head. It's the H2O head, and these are made by B Fishing too, the Paddletails. Or you can see it right there. This particular one happens to be what they call an oyster color. I don't know, I kind of think that might work, but I've got another color that I've had very, very good success with. It's right here on their worm, their ringworm. This is a electric grape with a pearl tail. Now when I use their ringworm that B Fishing has, I'll flip and pitch that one, and there's a lot of times fish will hit that when they won't hit anything else. Not sure why, but they do. But we're hoping that this works. It does not have the kicking bass in it like what my Natural Forage bait swim bait has, but that bait's also made different than the Paddletail somewhat. And if I want to, I'll just get my kicking bass and put it on there, which I might, but first I want to try it without it and we'll see what happens. Like I said, there's a lot of good spots out here. I got it on my B&M rod, my 8-foot Ramsey or Bailey rod rather, and I think this should be an excellent setup for it. We're just going to see. Like I said, I'm going to make some casts. We'll see if I can get anything, and we'll take it from there. Well, he's off. What can I say? But I had one. Like I said, it got off. I think you can see that. Something that I want to show you here before I go back to fishing is, not this box, but I mean, it is a good box to keep things in. This is the Edge one-handed latch deal. See, I even got a marked jig head. Works great. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. These are some of the heads that I use for these, and as far as the B Fishing heads, that's probably the ones that I use the most. But if I'm in an area where I can avoid a lot of weeds or something, where I don't get hung up as much and I need some more flash, what I really like are these Blakemore Casey's runner heads. Now a regular road runner head, yeah, that works good with just the standard blade, that sort of thing, but this has the ball bearing swivel, larger hook. I really like these, and like I said, if I got some extra flash, and maybe I'll find an area here where I can do that, but well, I mean, I'm running a lot of weeds even with that fish that I just lost there. But we're going to try to catch some more, and I may just switch to that other color I was telling you about too, that electric blue with the little pearl tail on it. I might go to that because I haven't been getting a lot of hits on these, and I'm not having you guys sit there watching me fish and not getting anything for a bit. It's really tough fishing right now. Our heat indexes are about 100 and some degrees, and we're looking at warm water. It's very murky. It's just a mess. The fish are hitting, and they're hitting on noisier lures, actually more like a rattle trap. But I want to try these B Fishing Paddletails and see, you know, how they work. And like I said, I got plenty of heads here, so I can try different things, and I may just try that Roadrunner head I was telling you about. So I'm going to go back to fishing. Something that I want to show you before I go back out there fishing is the difference in these heads and why I like the B Fishing. One of the reasons I like the B Fishing head. And back again on my Edge box, I got to get out another one of these so I can show you. Here we go. You may have already seen what I was talking about. The collar. You know, you have a lead collar. Oh, that's fine. Those have been around for years, just like this. On the right in here, you got your lead collar with your little keeper spike. Well, look at the B Fishing head. It's different. Not only is it not upward on the hook, but it's downward. And we'll get it right here for you. Hopefully you can see that. I know it's dark. Right here, that's a wire rather than the lead. That does not rip up the plastic as bad, and that's one reason I like this thing. So that was just a quick tip for you, and we're going to go back to fishing now. Small. Nothing big on that one, as you can see. Small fish. Been having a lot of hits, and I'm going to show you what I've done. In fact, I had 2 big fish on. And I mean, these were big fish. I don't think they were bass, though. I think they were catfish. Just the way they hit and they roll around and what have you, I just think they're big catfish. And those were on the ones where I was using the Blakemore, a runner hit. What I did is I took that back off. In fact, this one's getting torn up some. I took this off, and you can see how well that I was telling you about that the barb type of a thing that you have is a keeper barb. This one has got that wire, because I went back to the H2O, the precision H2O head by Beef Fishing, and that was really stuck, but it was ripping out otherwise. So we're still going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it in here. The nice thing about these barbs is they go down in a little bit deeper, so they keep your bait on much better. And see, now that was ripped up, but it's still holding real good. Can't pull it off. So, you know, it's set up good and it's ready to go. I'm going to try to get some more. I've got about 7-8 bass so far that you haven't seen on camera. Lost that one, of course. The ones I've caught though are mainly on rattle traps. Like I said before, they're just not wanting to hit any of this. I went with a 7-inch ribbon tail worm, and usually this time of the year when it's hot and that, I do real well around the weed beds with that. Not today. They're just not hitting it. For some reason, they want that doggone thing with all the rattles in it and going. But they are hitting this one. This is the only soft plastic. This paddletail, this Beef Fishing paddletail, is the only soft plastic that I've pulled out that they're hitting, which is very unusual, like I said, for this time of the year. And I'm getting them, I'm going a lot faster than normally. I take it and I'll let it fall, pick it up, let it fall, and I'll hit on that fall. They're not doing that today. They're wanting it to go along a little faster. And maybe that's with the rattle trap too, because I do a lot of pumping with it as well. Not today. They're hitting on that straight pull going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fish a little bit more and hopefully get some. I may even be changing position. You can tell I've been going all over the place, changing. I fish shallow, I fish deep, I fished weeds, outside of weeds. Really, they are holding around weeds. That last one I got right there, that one was close and in the weeds. But I'm going to do some more fishing. We'll see what happens. Okay, here's one. This feels a little better. I don't know. I got him in the weed bed. Oh, throw it. I'll tell you, I'm just having one of those days. That's all there is to it. Little one. But he sure got hooked. Pepper, that's your size. Came back over here, as you can see. He's hooked. It tore it up a little bit. You can see that. They do go for those paddle tails, I'll say that, because like I said, today has been one of those days. Oh, Pepper's going to try to grab my paddle tail. We don't need that. Boxing with a hook in his mouth. That'd be bad news, wouldn't it, Pepper? Yeah, he's looking at the fish. He's ready for it to be released. But, you know, that was not really too bad. It's keeper size, actually, but he's not being kept. He's going to release him. In fact, I'm going to release this fish right now, and then I'll be back to talk to you. There, Pepper was happy to see the fish released. So, now, you can see what these do. I did not, on purpose, I did not put the kicking bass on. I wanted to see what they do without it. Now, if I put the kicking bass on, probably would help them. The one thing I am going to say, though, and I've recommended it to the company, is that these beef fishing heads, they're a great head, but I gotta redo this too anyway. But look at the hook, and then if you remember what that I don't know if I got it here or not. Yes, I do. Okay, now look at the hook that's in this one. See the difference? Yeah, there's a lot of difference in there, and that bigger hook will help a lot in getting your fish. Yes, I was catching some on this, and these are made basically for like walleye or crappie or something like that, but I use them for bass, and the bigger hook does help. So I would like to see Bee Fishing come out with a big mouth H2O head, one that has got the bigger hook. I have seen, in fact I've got some that have got 16th ounce heads, and they've got 2-aught hooks. They're great, but I can't find them. I lost them somewhere in my shed, and I have used them, and they're similar to the Bee Fishing head, except that they got a round one, and these have got more of like a backward bullet head. I really, really like these heads, and I've caught a lot of fish. In fact, my finger jigging, and I will finger jig this, by the way, it works great for it. There's no doubt about that. And today's fishing hasn't been all that great. Yes, I have caught 9 fish. Of course, a lot of them you didn't see. I've lost a few, which you did see. And it's just been one of those days where you had to do a lot of changing around and changing positions. And I've went from here to there and all over the place. And, you know, that's what you got to do. You got to look and search and change lures and change colors and look at what you're doing with weeds and just everything. Try to form a pattern. And all day like today, can you do it? I don't know. There's been 4 of us out here fishing. Out of those other people that were here, they had 4 bass. I've caught 9 now. So, but I was alternating a lot, as you can see. And that's what you have to do. You just have to fish that way, and this little paddle tail actually was one of the lures of the day, because the lure of the day was a rattle trap, no doubt. But this was the only soft plastic I used that will work. The other soft plastics that I've always had fantastic luck with out of my Natural Forage bait lineup, for some reason, just couldn't get them to go, but I was able to get them on this paddle tail. So until next time, get out on the water and enjoy a great day of fishing.